On this video, we're going to look at different ways that you might be able to control your fear and the reasons that fear comes up in the first place. So let's dive in. I'm Lucy. I'm an aligned peak performance coach and speaker. And fear is something that we all come across at some point in our lives and in some areas of our lives, some more than others. And sometimes it's completely stops us from doing something. And so, looking at the different areas of where that happens and why that happens, and then what can be done about that to help us through that fear to be able to come out on the other side and feel accomplished because we've done the thing we were fearful of is really important. So, things that might stop us moving forward in this fear might be the fear of failing. So we're fearful because if we do the thing, we might be seen as a failure. If we do the thing, we might get hurt. We might have somebody telling us how awful it was. We might have somebody pushing back against us. And so, what is the fear? And if we can unwrap the fear and really understand what that thing is, then we can really speak to that fear. We can really speak to what is going on in our bodies, what's going on in our minds. If you're doing something like a speech and you're doing a presentation at work, it might be the fear of, oh my gosh, people are going to think I'm really boring and I don't know how to speak properly and I haven't got the intonations and I'm just going to go on and on and on and they're going to be falling asleep at the table. So there's lots of different reasons that these fears can bubble up. And the great thing is, there are lots of different ways that you can tackle them and you can try different things. So let's look at the speech analogy. So you've got a speech coming up, you've got a presentation coming up. Instead of worrying about it and spending time worrying about it, how about spending time practicing? Practicing the speech, practicing it in front of the mirror, recording yourself and looking at yourself on your phone when it's been recorded, or even doing it on your computer, like I'm on here on my computer, and just listening to yourself, even if you're reading it and you're reading the presentation or you're going through the slides, and then listen back as if you're somebody different and you are trying to help yourself to become better. And when you can do that, then you start to feel more confident and you feel more relaxed. A, because you know what the speech is going to be and you've got the flow of it, but also you're thinking, well, if I slowed down on this bit, it might sound a bit better. Or if I got louder in this part, it might be better, and softer in this part. If I waited and gave some response to people and asked them questions about this piece that I just spoke about on the presentation, that would engage them because that's what I'm seeing from me doing this, right? So you learn by practicing things and speaking them out loud, and definitely by recording them. So practice is fabulous. The second thing I'm going to suggest is visualization. There have been quite a few studies that say when you visualize whatever you're going to be doing, whether that's shooting a basketball into a net, whether it's doing a speech, whether it's running and getting to the finish line first, when you visualize that, your brain doesn't know the difference between did it really happen or was she just thinking about it? It's stored as a memory. So the more vividly you can imagine that thing, let's talk about running and crossing the finish line on a run you've never done before, and vividly see yourself going off at the starting gun, running down. What are you wearing? How are you feeling? Who are the people around you? What are you seeing? What are you feeling? Are you having the water? Are you feeling really good? Have you got your pace going? And then seeing yourself and others crossing that finish line and going, yes, I've made it. I've made it. And then what happens? The people that you know that were watching you are coming around you. They're giving you a hug. They're giving you a high five. And that feeling, feel those feelings. The more that you can feel the visualization of whatever it is you're afraid of or scared to do or is uncomfortable to do, the more you can visualize it happening really how you want it to happen, whether it's an interview for a job perhaps and you're scared about that. But if you can see that, visualize that, feel that, the feeling is so, so important to do that. And then it gets stored as the memory. And when you go into doing it, it's like, oh, I've done this already. I've done this already. It felt really good. I've done this already. It came out brilliantly. I've done this already. I got high fives at the end. I got photographs taken of me at the end. I got a raise at the end because my presentation was so good. So visualize that thing and visualize what you want happening within that. Another great thing to do is with your body and changing your physiology. So if this is in the moment and you're just about to, again, let's go back to the speech. If you're just about to give your speech, but you've got a little bit of time, then changing your physiology and changing the way that you're breathing as well. So breath work is such a fantastic way to calm down the nervous system. So breathing in and holding your breath, breathing out and holding your breath for maybe 5 or 6 seconds. 5 or 6 seconds holding it, 5 or 6 seconds down, and 5 or 6 seconds holding it. Or a simpler one is to breathe in for half the amount of time that you breathe out. So breathing in for 7, breathing out for 14. That brings you calm down again so that you can overcome that fear. Because fear in itself will bring on things like a faster heart rate. It will bring adrenaline to your body, right? This is giving you more blood to your brain, more oxygen. So this is a good thing to your brain and to your muscles so that you're kind of fighting fit to go ahead. So to a certain level, that feeling is really positive because it's giving you the energy to do this thing even better and with your power. However, on the negative side, if it overruns and there's too much adrenaline coming through, you'll find that you get sweaty palms and you start shaking. And sometimes it's really uncontrollable shapes. I can remember that happening to me when I was giving a presentation and I didn't know all of this, and my knees were literally knocking together. My legs were shaking. I actually had to then sit down because I was shaking so much. But it was kind of at the bottom half rather than the top half. And when I sat down, I felt better. But understanding that that is also so close to excitement. So that fear feeling is so close to excitement because if you're excited, your heart rate goes up, doesn't it? Think about it. You get a little bit of adrenaline coming through and you're excited. So a great thing to be able to do is to use that information and tell yourself you're excited. Tell yourself 3 times that you're excited and say it out loud. I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited. And again, what you're doing is you're telling your brain, you're changing what your thoughts were, which was fear. I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared, to I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited. You're programming yourself for that. And you can also do movements with your arms. So one is putting your arms out to the side and then rolling them 10 times forwards and 10 times backwards. And that's going to change the way that you're feeling. Another way is power moves. So if you can do some power moves, and even if you visualize doing a power move, that is also really very powerful. I've done that before, and that was before I made a speech on stage. And a power move is this. It's standing with your hands on your hips. There are a couple of sitting down ones, which I can't demonstrate here because you won't see me. But power moves are great because it makes you feel powerful. And even, like I said, even if you can't stand there like this or with your arms up for 5 minutes, Visualize yourself doing it. So if you're sitting there waiting to do the thing you're going to do, whether it's a presentation or whatever it is, speaking to somebody and it's going to be a really tricky conversation, imagine before you get up and speak, imagine before that conversation takes place that you are standing with your hands on your hips, or you're standing in the winner pose with your arms up. And that in itself will take you to a far more confident state to be able to overcome the fear that you're feeling. All of these things can help. And we can change fear into courage by doing those things. So we want to be courageous, we want to be fearless. We want to overcome the fear so that we can get to the new place that we are looking to get to the new relationship, to the new job. And W. Clement Stone said that thinking will not overcome fear, but action will. Now, if you look back at what I just said before, thinking, visualizing does help you overcome it. So I, in part, disagree with what he said, because when we can think our way there and really feel that, and then take the action, that will help us overcome the fear. So there's a power in the thought, and then there's a power in the action. I think those two things together will help you to overcome the fears that you have, the fears that we all have. It's not just for one person, it's for everybody. Everybody has those fears. And actually, the fear of making a mistake is doing you more harm than doing the thing and possibly making the mistake. Think about that, because that's done. Now you can adjust it. Now you can deal with whatever happened if the mistake was made. But if you're worrying all the time about, oh gosh, I'll make a mistake, I'll get it wrong, I'll fail, how long has that thought been eating away at you? How long has that thought been in your mind, grinding you down, making you smaller, instead of standing up, doing the thing? If you make a mistake, you make a mistake. As long as it's not a life and death kind of thing. But if you make a mistake in a speech, if you make a mistake in a presentation, it's okay. You learn from it. And the next time you're better. So try all of these different things out, practicing, visualizing, and then all of the physical changes that you can make, all of the different power poses, the breath work, all of those things. And take courage, because you've got this. You can do this. There'll be another video coming up on screen, so I'll see you over there. In the meantime, let's overcome those fears. Stop them holding you back. Stop all of us being held back by our fears. It's just our brain trying to protect us. That's all. And we know, actually, that when we overcome the fears, we feel so much better. Have an awesome day. Bye for now.